Samuel Beckett was born in a small town outside Dublin in the early 1900s and spent the majority of his life as a writer, with stints as a teacher and a translator sprinkled throughout. His work is absurd, depressing, obtuse, and ranges wildly in how his ideas are presented. From two men standing around a tree to a woman buried up to her neck in sand, and four figures dashing across the stage to strange, percussive music. In every work of his, he wants the audience to suffer and encourages the audience to be more than willing to. The epitome of this idea of willful suffering is Lucky in his most famous work, Waiting for Godot. While his name is Lucky, he is in an entirely unfortunate situation to the average person. He is a slave with an almost impossible workload, holding his master's belongings, and while being allowed to rest, he refuses to. He even refuses to be fed. When he is beckoned to think by his master, he starts off in a disjointed raving about God, sports, Ireland, academia, and all the things that are used to occupy ourselves before we die. This character gives us an idea that life is a thing to endure, be happy to endure, rather to inspect and figure out, preferring suffering over useless conversation and boredom. Another character that Beckett uses to show his ideas of suffering is Malone in his novel Malone Dies. Malone is bedridden and spends his time making up stories, a sort of self-insert for Beckett himself and his struggle to write. While making these stories, Malone calls them horrible and ends up changing the name of his character in the middle of the story. Malone also knows very little of his surroundings and how he got there. His memory fails him. He only knows the room he stays in and sees the rest of the world through a window and the sounds outside his room. The point that he doesn't know what he is and what he's doing is most likely a metaphor for the absurdist thoughts popular at the time, and how that there's all these unanswered questions and that nothing will answer them, and even if you put your feelings into a story or art, you will suffer and detest what you make. In his most abstract novel, The Unnameable, Beckett writes as a disembodied voice in a boy trying to figure out who he is, who influenced him, who created him, where he is, and telling himself that this must end and he must stop talking. He eventually puts himself inside a head in a jar outside a cafe, but then returning to the void to search his mind for more thoughts to entertain himself. It reads as if he is completely fed up and ready to go, but always pulling himself back into monologuing. Beckett wants us to stop thinking and feel, to stop thinking and suffer. That in all our thinking we get nowhere, that nothing ever comes and nothing ever starts. There is never a moment where we arrive.